Welcome to the Franchising 360 Show, the only show that takes you inside the world of franchising, with hosts Tim Parmeter and Danielle Wright.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Franchising 360 Show. I am Tim Parmeter. With me, as always, is Danielle Wright.
Yep, that's me.
Danielle and I are going to give you a 360-degree look at the franchising industry on this show. Try to properly educate you on all things about this, how to understand if you should own a franchise, if so, which one, how to be successful once you are, how to know the difference for all of these things. And we are going to be joined by a guest coming back. This is like a to be continued, right? Like we should really start with.
Someone was the first, and now this is our second. Like
we should have with this. It should be
like the SNL thing.
Well,
right?
like
or the guest this multiple times, you get a jacket.
You get the jacket. Look, we have that on our podcast, by the way.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
A jacket?
Well, yeah, you've been on there 5 times.
I've been on there 5 times. I don't have a jacket.
It's in the mail.
Sure.
Yeah, so we've got a kind of a to be continued from last week's guest. So you need that thing at the beginning of the shows where it's like last week on the Franchising 360 Show.
This isn't a soap opera. Go ahead.
But we've got Scott Sutton from Empower Brands coming back to talk more about their specific brands tonight. I'm not exactly excited about it, though. So just because I get in trouble
You're empowered to know more.
I am empowered to know more. I'm also, what I am a little borderline giddy about is the Friday Franchise Fun Fact with Danielle. What you got for us?
This doesn't get old at all. Okay. Fun fact, do you know the newest wave of franchise ownership?
Newest wave?
Yeah, like what is the newest thing that people are wanting to become owners in?
The newest wave, they're kind of like flooding whatever this market is?
Yeah, that is not food, fitness, or cleaning.
I don't know.
You're just going to say, I don't know, is that new? That's food. Food, fitness, cleaning. Or not
That's new.
That's new.
I'm going to say...
new wave of franchise ownership.
Red light sauna.
Oh, that one's good. That one's not right.
I'm still wrong.
Still wrong.
Okay.
Future-focused businesses.
Oh, that's not like a specific
esports
thing.
Arenas, virtual reality, escape rooms. It's the entertainment industry. So getting into entertainment is like the new wave of where people want to go.
Okay.
They want to merge technologies and advancements. As soon as you know it, there'll be like a escape room with AI.
So we want...
Put this into the AI bot to get out of this room.
So something that, basically we want things that are going to be fun for people to come and like...
Escape. Yeah.
De-stress their life for this.
Sure.
Okay.
Future-focused businesses.
Let's go find one tonight and go after the show, Friday night, let's go have some fun somewhere.
No. With you?
Yeah, well, guess not. So, or maybe our guest. We've got Scott Sutton from Empower Brands coming back to take a deeper dive into the brands and see if we got some questions for him, right?
Yeah, there's how many brands?
I think 10.
Wow.
Let's start with, you know what? Let's do this. Let's see how fast he can rattle them off.
Perfect.
Okay. We've got that and a whole bunch more here on the Franchising 360 Show when we come back. Hey, welcome back to the Franchising 360 Show. Tim Parmeter alongside Danielle Wright. And we are part 2 of our first ever to be continued episode with the Chief Development Officer of Empower Brands, Scott Sutton. Scott, thanks for sticking around with us to another week. And we got some more. We want to dive more into the brands with Empower, but just maybe a quick Empower Brands. What is this again?
Yeah, Empower Brands is think of it as a private equity-backed portfolio of 10 franchise businesses operating in predominantly the residential services space, but we also have brands that are B2B, and the good news is many of our brands that are residential also cross over into the business or commercial side of the house.
Okay, rapid fire as fast as you can. Name all 10.
Architect Outdoor Living, Bumble Roofing, Canopy Lawn Care, Conserva Irrigation, First Team Restoration, Jan Pro, Koala Insulation, Outdoor Lighting Perspectives, Superior Fence and Rail, and Wallaby Windows.
Which one's your favorite?
It's like asking me to pick my favorite kid, man.
Which one's your favorite?
You told us which one was your favorite kid, like off air. So if they want to know, I'll let you know which one is his favorite.
I thought you put it on X already. It's already out
so which one is my favorite? Mm-hmm. I like them all equally when I am talking to clients, but I love Architect because I want my backyard to look like everything Architect can do.
Oh, okay.
Right? I've been a customer.
That's a shocker.
I've been a customer of Conserva.
Okay.
We both love outdoor lighting perspectives.
That
right?
one's my favorite.
And one of my first jobs out of college was in fencing, so I always have this affinity for fence.
So they didn't pick one, but thanks for answering that question so detailed.
Right.
I'm just glad he answered
I
that.
mean-
I didn't have to answer that.
What? Start with the two that are business to business. Give us like a quick little synopsis of those.
Yeah, Jan Pro is our largest commercial brand. It is B2B. If you think about what Jan Pro provides to property managers and facilities locations across the country and the world, they're performing property-related services like cleaning.
Okay.
Right. It's been a growing business since 1991. First Team Restoration is our second commercial brand. Recognize that First Team serves residential clients.
Right.
However, the contracts that are in place and the national programs are with the major insurance organizations. So First Team has a heavy lean into developing relationships with those insurance organizations so that when a residential homeowner has a claim, the relationships that are in place allow for that claim to be pivoted into and over to a First Team franchise owner in that local market.
Okay.
And I'm always still a little lost on First Team, right? So you're not cleaning up the water that comes in my house. You're doing what exactly?
Think of it this way. So when there is a claim, it might be that there's been a fire, there might be smoke damage, it could be water damage. There are a lot of companies out there that restore the physical premises.
Right.
If you were to take the roof off of a home, pick up the house and shake it, everything that falls out is what First Team restores.
Okay.
So clothing, other textiles, contents, electronics.
So rather than having to replace them from an insurance standpoint, they'd rather pay First Team to restore them.
That's right. If you have smoke damage, if there's been a fire, your clothing in a closet may have a heavy smoke smell, right?
Got it.
First Team is going to pack out that clothing and clean it, right? Restore it so that you can still wear it. It's not going to smell like you've been to a barbecue restaurant, and away you go. And that's one example of the restoration services.
Got it. Okay, so those are your two B2B exclusively.
So how do you categorize the rest of them? We've talked a little bit off air, like what that is for Empower. So put them into the categories.
Yeah, we were, one of the things we were talking about on the last show was how we segment or put together the brands from a maturity perspective. When you think about what the brands do, there's a couple of different segmentations that exist. And the first is Beautification. So Architect Outdoor Living, Outdoor Lighting Perspectives are two brands that allow for the enhancement of that residential property. Architect in particular, franchise owners are helping homeowners bring to life these outdoor spaces that really are those where people live, love, laugh, and connect. Think about a new patio or a seat wall or a fire pit. What's going to happen around that, right? Those are the things that are being brought to life by an Architect franchise owner for a residential homeowner. Outdoor Lighting Perspectives is beautifying that property, right? Yes, there's a security measure as well. People see outdoor lighting as providing additional and incremental security, but the beautification impact is enormous. And it's interesting when you talk to customers, for example, in a neighborhood, one customer will have lights installed, and then all of a sudden you start to see these other homes on that same street. Now they're getting lighting as well. So it's the beautification play that those two brands fit together really, really well. When you think about the conservation play, and right, the two brands that are really focused on conservation, you're thinking about Canopy Lawn Care and Conserva Irrigation. They do exactly what their names infer that they do. So Canopy Lawn Care is not what we call mow and blow. It is weed and feed. So if you think about at a very high level, it is the Mediterranean diet for your lawn, right? High quality, very good ingredients that help the lawn be healthy. And when you have a healthy, thick, deep-rooted plant, that in and of itself mitigates the growth of what no homeowner wants to see, which is weeds, right?
Right.
But so it's a different approach, and that approach is more leaning into where the consumers are today, where the homeowners are today, and where they're going, which is they want to be focused on the environment. They want to be conserving. They want to be doing things in a way that's helping the ecosystem where they live.
That was one of my fun facts.
I know it was, and then Conserva but it's on the irrigation side. So it's and again, I've been a customer of somebody putting in a really bad irrigation system, and then Conserva coming in and like saving the day. So it's saving water, and for the homeowner, you're gonna like that because your bill's less. But it's also again eco-friendly and better just for the earth.
It is, and one of the things that happened when that brand, that we are the first irrigation franchise business in the category, another example of us creating the category, and that was born out of the reality that most homeowners, I mean, if you think about the maintenance areas, the key maintenance areas in your home, irrigation systems are probably one of the, if not the, most difficult for people to understand. And so when you're not able to understand that, when you're not able to create more efficiency with that irrigation system, who do you turn to?
Right.
And there was a void in the level of quality and differentiation that existed in the market. And so that's where Conserva has been able to fit in a really great way, is to level up that category, level up that industry, to help the homeowner understand that we're caring for the environment, we're caring for your utility bill,
Yeah.
and we're caring for the grass that you've paid Canopy Lawn Care so much money to make sure is healthy.
Right. And then we've got Bumble, Superior Fence, and then Wallaby Windows. What do we call those under the Empower brand umbrella?
And that's really improvement. So we think about, and I'll lump Koala Insulation into that, very simple. Koala Insulation is a brand that also has the ability to provide to a homeowner a cost savings, right? And so there's really improvement there. Roofing, obviously a non-differentiated category where we're bringing tech and other differentiators to give a better client experience for roofing needs, whether it's maintenance, repair, or re-roofing.
Right.
Superior Fence and Rail, fencing, another great example of a category that's not really differentiated, that has a low customer satisfaction rating, and Superior's been able to level that up. Wallaby Windows, same situation where the professionalization and attention to the customer need has been well received by customers when they think about what the competition is offering and how they're approaching the customer. Heavy sales hand, upselling. Those are things at the kitchen table that today's consumers are smarter about and don't appreciate as much. And so a different sales approach is important.
And back to that kind of franchisee-first thing we talked about last week. I want to come back to that in a second. When we're going to come back with Scott Sutton from Empower Brands on the Franchising 360 show right after this. Welcome back to the Franchising 360 show alongside that one, Danielle Wright. I'm Tim Parmeter, and our guest is Scott Sutton from Empower Brands. And Scott, you've got 10 different brands, so there's probably different nuances from each brand, exactly what you need an owner to be able to do. But within Empower, are there some particular traits or things that you guys really look for?
Great question. I mean, I think a lot of people call them personas. What are the different personas? And we have personas. I will tell you the number one characteristic of incoming new franchise owners is really folks that are coming out of working in a situation where they were toiling for someone else, right? Corporate America, maybe not corporate America, but they want to start their own business, don't have a lot of experience. Setting that aside, there are three factors. There are three things that we look for that map to our top performers across all brands. These are things that are just brand agnostic indicators of success. Number one is positivity. Are you a glass half full?
Yes.
Or not individual? right? How do you look at what's your worldview?
Yeah.
How do you look at what you're doing day in and day out? Are you positive? That's really, really key. The second thing is, are you easy to work for, right? Especially with today's folks that are coming into the employment area, are you easy to work for? If you're not, be easy to work for. And that's easier said than done. The third thing is, I call this grit over quit. And so it's interesting, we're having a conversation. There's so many people that have been working and grinding it out for the same employer for 3 years or 5 years or 15 years. Right. That's grit over quit.
Right.
And they're doing it for someone else. Yeah. So when we see the characteristics of folks that are positive, that know how to lead and manage people with care and with empathy, and they are willing to grind and not quit, those are the characteristics that are going to be phenomenal business owners at Empower, and I believe anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, how do you guys, those are all wonderful things, but how do you get that or understanding out of a candidate, right? Yeah. I request information. I want to walk through this process with you.
Rank yourself on grid out of 1 out of 5, right?
You've got like a 6 to 8 week process of, and then they end it with an Empower Day, which is where they're with you guys. But how does that come out? Like, how do you find that in people?
Great question, and we're process driven, and so we have a very defined process that we use to be able to do what? To ask questions. There's quantitative data that we collect. There's application information. There's resumes that give insight to, are people skipping around every 6 months or a year in their profession? That might be an indicator around grit over quit. It might not be.
Right.
But that's certainly something to ask questions. We ask a lot of questions. We want to get to know our candidates. I think the typical experience, whether it's being interested in a franchise business or wanting to go buy a vacation, right? What we get, and I think what the candidates experience, is this just heavy stream of features and benefits. Right. Get on the phone with somebody that is representing a franchise brand. The first thing that comes out of the mouth is features and benefits, why my brand is better than someone else's.
Right.
What we do is take the step back. We want to know the candidate, right? The candidate is in control. They're driving the vehicle. We're sitting next to them with Google Maps, giving them the directions.
Right.
And a playlist.
Right.
Good playlist.
Hopefully that's aligned. But Danielle, I mean, I think from my perspective, the process allows us to get to know that candidate, to understand their tendencies. Are they showing up to meetings on time, right? Are they asking questions? Are they curious? How positive or not positive are they about the outlook of being a business owner? Those are the things that start to reveal themselves down and along that journey. And we've had the conversations, as have y'all, that maybe business ownership's not the right fit.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But if we're not asking questions, if we're not guiding along that path, we're not doing what we should be from the perspective of caring for the candidate and making sure that there's alignment in those three
So
areas.
when we talk about like how franchisers should be awarded and not sold, right? You guys are really taking that. So it should be mutual versus just let me sell you and hope it works out, which is why we've got all the longevity within the culture that you're talking about with Empower Brands.
It is I like to think of it, we are making an investment in a relationship.
Yeah.
And that relationship is a long-term relationship. And it's a marriage.
Right.
And you need to be aligned, and you need to be compatible. You need to have the same values. Yeah, you're going to have to pick out the china and figure out where is the honeymoon going to be. But at the end of the day, there has to be that alignment in order for that relationship to be healthy, for both partners to be thriving, and for it to be a lasting endeavor. And that's the way that we look at the relationships with our franchise owners, and the way that we govern and manage our teams to make sure that we're supporting them on their path to success.
So give us a quick example of how positivity plays in as a franchise owner.
I think of it this way. And so I think everybody can agree, particularly in the early years of business ownership, there are going to be misses and failures.
Right.
No matter what kind of system you have.
Right.
When you're operating a business, you are in a phase of testing and learning. It's always important to understand what didn't work, what went wrong, and then take from those learnings and let's apply it to the next at-bat, right? When I get up in that batter's box. So an example will always be, are you taking from a failure, taking from a missed opportunity, a lesson that gives you excitement, that gives you passion to be better and to win, be successful at the next go-round, or are you commiserating? Are you going into the corner and locking things down?
I shouldn't have done this, right? Like, you're Eeyore.
Tom Welter, who's our chief operating officer, says this all the time, but he talks about the fact that the most successful franchise owners are the ones that call us all the time. They're sharing success stories. They're talking about stuff that didn't work, but they're constantly focused on what's next in a positive way, not focusing and dwelling on maybe what didn't work, but what was the learning from that can help it work next time. And I think it's a squishy distinction, but it's important.
Yeah. I don't think we talk about the positivity side of things nearly enough in this industry.
In
So
the
I'm glad
industry
you-
alone, yeah.
I'm just glad you brought that up.
Everyone's very glass, not half empty, but just glass. Glass
Right.
has water in it. Like there's no.
There's some water there.
That's how it is.
Right.
I agree with you.
So Scott, I can't thank you enough for coming here and talking about this again. If somebody is like, man, this Empower brand thing sounds pretty cool, there's going to be a website right here
Somewhere.
for them, and it is empowerbrands.com, correct?
Empowerfranchising.com is the
Empowerfranchising.com.
URL, and wealth of knowledge there across all the brands for folks that are interested.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's great to be here. Thank you both.
My pleasure. And we will be right back on the Franchising 360 show right after this.
Thanks again for watching the Franchising 360 show, brought to you by Franco. Danielle and I hope these episodes continue to educate you on the franchise industry. In between our episodes, if you would like to learn more about franchising and the ways in which Franco can help, there are a few places you should check out. First, be sure to listen to the award-winning Franchising 101 podcast. You can find this on Spotify or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Next, check out the Franco YouTube channel, Franco for You. You can catch past episodes of the Franchising 360 show, plus tons of other content. If you like to read, we encourage you to check out the book, Becoming a Franchise Owner. And finally, when you are ready to take that first personalized step and explore franchise industry further, please reach out to our amazing team at Franco. There is never any fee for our service, so let us help you create your better tomorrow. Until next week, for Danielle Wright, I'm Tim Parmeter. Thanks for tuning in to the Franchising 360 show.